All right. We are here today to talk about Gila Springs. It's a closing that we did. Well, you'll see the closing date here was 1/22, so January 22nd, 2016. So we're just going to go through the acquisition, what we did, what we said, what happened with this deal, how much money we made. Okay, so the number one thing we always start out with is what kind of marketing brought this client into our world, right? So this is a direct mail campaign. We do our direct mail. We send it out to the free and clear list, and the seller contacted us by phone, and we called them back. All right. The next thing is why are they selling their property? What was their pain? Well, this particular property, which is the ideal property for us because it has a ton of issues with it, it was a hoarder house. We could barely get into the property. Like, I went through the front door, and then the guy wouldn't even let me upstairs, but I had to get upstairs, and literally from the entryway of his bedroom all the way to the ceiling, there was bottles and garbage and stuff, which is kind of strange because it didn't really smell. But there was no way that house could be sold retail. So that was their pain. The property type was a townhouse. It was a really nice area in Chandler, Arizona. And we knew that we would be able to get a good price for it. We feel like the retail value of it was between $130, $135, which is still super cheap in that area. Our original offer price was $50,000. They wanted about 70, but we ended up meeting them in the middle, which we ended up getting them under contract for $55,000. Our resale price, which was to our investor list, because we just did a wholesale deal on this. We didn't do anything other than put a lockbox on and walk the property and take some pictures. We sold it to our list for $89,000 net. Our buyer was from our cash buyers list. We sent out the email. And our sale time from our contract date with our buyer was 10 days. And so from the time we sent it out to our list was 2 days. From the time we got a contract, and we closed 10 days later. One of the things that I want to talk about on this deal, we're going to go through the numbers in a minute, but the lesson we learned on this is I actually wanted to buy it, fix it up, and sell it because we got it for so cheap. We got it for really, really cheap. And my business partner, my wife, didn't want to do that. She's like, I'm tired of doing flips. We've got enough flips going on right now. Let's just wholesale it. So we ended up actually closing on it with a private investor. Fortunately, our private investor makes a ton of money off us, and he gave us a break on the exit on it. But it cost us almost $2,000, as you'll see here, in closing costs, which we could have saved. So we didn't even send it out to our list until we actually closed on it, which that was the lesson we learned. Send everything out. You never know who's going to buy your properties and save you on closing costs. And it'll also save them on closing costs too. So here was our buy price. We bought it for $55,000. We had $1,798 in closing costs. We sold it for $89,000, which netted us a net profit wired back into our account for $32,202. Our contract date from our seller, our hoarder seller, was on 12/26, the day after Christmas. They signed the contract, which was awesome because most people stop marketing, stop working, stop doing stuff over the holidays. Not us. We had a $32,000 bonus right after the first of the year because we were always working during the holidays, and that's when people want to get rid of their stuff. So our buy date was so we had our contract date was 12/26. We closed on it on 1/15, and then we resold it 7 days later on 1/22. So our total time from the direct mail intake, getting it contracted, and selling it was 27 days. So that was a good deal. Do you have any questions? No?
Yeah. Was the buyer out of state or the seller out of state?
No, the seller, it was interesting. The seller was, I think the seller was from a very, very wealthy family, okay? I think he was one of the black sheep of the other two children in the family. They were very successful. Father was really, really loaded. and they had this property. They found out that he had a hoarder house. They didn't know the situation was as bad as it was. So they basically took over, helped him sell it, and got their cash. And then actually the son, who's probably 50 years old, is moving back in with his parents who are in their 70s. They live in state, and it was just a situational, I call it situational sale. Like there was some major pain there, and they just wanted it out of their lives. So the more you market, the more these opportunities come in, the more the people call in and just need this stuff over with. This would be the textbook wholesale fix and flip deal that you could ever ask for, and they're out there everywhere in our market for sure. Anything else? That's it. So it was an in-state, free and clear list because the house was free and clear. So they got their cash and they were happy. Cool. Thanks.